Let me know. Hit the like button if you see this going live right now. Super excited about this episode. Let's get started.
Hi, welcome to Hospitality Live with Rupesh. Each week, we feature an industry leader that will share the latest trends and the best strategies to help you grow. Now, welcome your host, Rupesh Patel.
What's up, guys? Comment and let us know where you're watching from. Hoping that this is live. Sometimes we get an issue where LinkedIn's not liking this or the internet connection is bad, but I think we are live. Guys, comment and let me know if you hear this and let me know where you're watching from. Super excited about this episode. This is number 104, and with over 1,400 hotels, that's 1,400 hotels within the brand. I am super excited to talk to the CEO of G6 Hospitality, Mr. Rob Palleschi. So excited. Guys, comment and let me know where you're watching from. All right, so we have Jacksonville in the house, Daytona Beach in the house. We got a lot of people on. Super excited about this conversation. And yep, you guys are really quick. All right, we got Denver in the house, Maryland in the house. Hey, Paula from Brazil is in the house. We got Florida in the house, Aventura, College Park, Maryland. Love that. Orlando is in the house. California, Texas. Justin's in the house. Kimberly's in the house. From Jacksonville, San Antonio in the house. Yep, Motel 6 from Daytona is in the house. Lake Nona, good morning to all of you guys. Super excited. This episode, you're going to learn the hotel trends that are affecting all of us and how you can take advantage of them. Plus, discover hospitality leadership and then learn what G6 is doing with over 1,400 hotels and how they're growing. We got folks from India, Orlando. We got Canada in the house. Good morning. ATL in the house. Anybody from Texas, where Rob is from, Dallas, Texas, the entire G6 corporate office is there. London's in the house. Good morning to Charleston. Love this. I love when people from from new people that show up. All right, guys. So excited. This episode is brought to you by, and you guys know, put this in the comments, somebody, www.smartguests.com, with over 4,600 clients now within the United States. If you want to increase your revenues, you want to increase your service scores, which we all do now. I know a lot of hotels come to me saying, hey, my service scores my medallia scores are in the dumps. What do I do to improve? Smartguests.com with over 50 tools to help your hotel grow, communications, operations, marketing, reviews, guest service scores, and more. Like I said, 4,600 hotels in the United States use this website to get high quality print products, fast shipping, free shipping. Somebody put that in the comments, smartguests.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Now, my mindset this week, and let me know if you guys have been through this, is this right here. Yes, this is me pretending to be a big shot at the head of a boardroom, but honestly, it's just me in a hotel lobby. And this is at the Hilton Garden in Dallas, Texas. We all try to be somebody in our lives, and we want to be somebody. And sometimes we look to dream big. And if you've ever been there where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna think outside of what I'm doing right now and just have fun and dream big. And this is me like, hey, one day it might happen. And I'm excited about that. So if you're growing to, hit the like button, hit the comment button, and let me know if this is something that, that you keep going. And that's what keeps me going, is just keeping it going by dreaming big. And I have a lot of good plans in the works right now. So I'm super excited about this. All right. Sarah, and let me see Sarah, every week I do a Sarah Dandishy Hospitality Minute, and this is her. She's not here today. This is her in Alaska. Enjoying a trip with Uncruise. Shout out to Sarah. If you guys can follow her, she'll be on next week with the Hospitality Minute. But you know what? I was like, Rob, how about you join me for Hospitality Minute? So I'm going to bring on the CEO of G6 Hospitality, Mr. Rob Palleschi. Hey, Rob.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Super excited.
I'm with the sun a little bit over here, but it's all right.
You look good. You look fine. Hey, it was awesome meeting you at the AHOA conference a couple weeks ago, and I'm super excited about Lodging Conference coming up September 27th through the 30th. So excited to go get back to meeting people face to face. And every week Sarah comes on with the Hospitality Minute, and I was like, Rob, you want to join me? And this week, here it is. It's a surprise. This is the Hospitality Poll Edition. And so we're going to go through and quickly ask questions to you guys that are watching in the audience. And we're going to pull up your responses. All right. So in the poll edition, here we go. The first one is, as things slow down, have things slowed down for your hotel in August? Comment yes, no, things have gone up. We would love to hear, and Rob, you guys own hotels nationwide. What's the sentiment for August right now?
August is definitely choppy. I mean, I think choppy is the word to use this whole year, but it's been a little bit of a challenge. We've started to see a little bit more slowing. I think more because of the return to school, but I think you've got to, factor in the Delta variant as well. And some anxiety there. But, traditionally you see a slowdown as families and kids get back to school. So that's what we're seeing.
All right. And guys, comment, let us know if things are picking up, slow down, or steady. Would love to have you join the conversation in the Hospitality Minute Poll Edition. All right. The next one is, while things are slow and, your shoulder season might be coming up, your slow season might be coming up, do you have plans for special projects? And I know we do. Super excited about those to continue improving our product in our hotels and doing a little bit of training too. But are you doing any special projects during your slow season? And I know a lot of folks did projects last year when things slowed down a little bit. Rob, how about you guys?
We're definitely doing a lot of stuff across our own properties and encouraging our partners, in the franchise estate to do the same. And I think you just got to be cautious to remind everybody that it's not always capital intensive projects. You don't need to gut the place or renovate, basic training, some basic PM programs, taking advantage of a little bit of the downtime, in the fall and prepping for the busy, the busy winter season. So, it doesn't need to be huge capital intensive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, if you're not growing in any way, you're losing out on an opportunity, especially when things are slow. You have this big opportunity to deep clean, right? That's a huge thing that we just started. And, you were so busy that you couldn't get to it because of short staffed or whatever it was. Now you have the time, instead of people leaving at 1:00 in the afternoon to say, I'm done for the day, keep them on for an extra hour and deep clean, or 2 hours, and deep clean some of those rooms that, are going to be filled up when things pick back up. So that is definitely an opportunity. All right. So the last question is, do you think staffing will be a challenge in 2022? Now I hear a lot of folks say, all right, September, I think it's September 6th when the benefits end, and hopefully this variant will slow down a little bit and people get vaccinated and all these different things that are going to hopefully help. Now, I don't know, but I would love to hear from you. Is staffing going to be a challenge for 2022? Next year, are we going to be dealing with the same stuff that we're dealing with this year that we did, that we're going to deal with next year? Rob, how about you?
Yeah, I think it'll be better. But I think it's still going to be a challenge to a certain degree. I think we've got a lot of people that had always been in our industry that, strayed. And they went and they tried other industries and other businesses. So, maybe they're reluctant to come back, or maybe they're liking their new career, elsewhere. But I think it'll be a bit of a challenge. But, end of the day, we're an amazing industry. We've got amazing opportunities, great career growth for those that are interested. And as you started off the show, dream big. That can happen in this industry. So I think it'll be a little, again, like I said, choppy, probably through next year, but then it'll normalize and we'll be good 23 and beyond.
Absolutely. I can't wait till we kind of slow down on at least the challenging parts of staffing and supplies. I think those are the two biggest things that are like a headache for us right now, where you want to improve the product, but you can't get the supplies, or you want to do these deep cleans or these, sold out nights. You want to have sold out nights, but guess what? We don't have the support there for the staff. So
for us, that's our career, right? We're used to dealing with challenges and we navigate and we endure and we brush ourselves off and we move forward. So, that's the story of our industry.
Absolutely. Well, that is a Hospitality Minute poll edition. Rob, thank you so much for joining me for that. All right, we're going to get started. This is a CEO of G6 Hospitality, Rob Palleschi. Welcome to the show. And you've been in the industry for a long time. You have a long career in hospitality, and you've been with Hilton for 12 years. You did a stint at TGI Friday, and then for the last 4 years plus now you've been with G6. Tell us about your journey as you got started in hotels. How'd you get into hotels?
It's actually a pretty funny story. I got into hotels on a bet when I was in high school. So I ended up working at a front desk of a motel in Newington, Connecticut. I grew up in the middle of Connecticut, and I started working at the front desk. My career aspirations at that time in high school were always to go into culinary. After I completed high school, I went to Johnson & Wales in Providence, focused on culinary. After a couple of years of smelling like fish in New England and not being able to get a date, I decided to move and learn the front of the house. So I changed my trajectory a bit into hospitality. And after I graduated, Hyatt hired me as a management trainee. And I started off, down at the Hyatt Regency Memphis, the gleaming landmark in the heart of New Memphis, was the tagline. Anyways, and it was after that, years with Hyatt, and I worked with a company that was just growing, Capstar, and Capstar became a general manager with them, and Capstar eventually became Maristar, and Maristar is now Interstate, and Interstate is now Aimbridge. Grew on the franchise side of the business, and then made my way to Hilton corporate offices in Beverly Hills. Spent many great years at Hilton as we grew the business globally. I got to learn from Chris Nassetta, it's just that was an amazing journey, and gave a stint to TGI Fridays in the restaurant business, but lodging is for me. I'll just put it that way. So, and now here, almost 5 years at G6. So really excited to what we've done, what we've accomplished over here with the business.
Now, tell us about G6 and the company itself. And you guys are based out of Dallas, Texas. And tell us about your portfolio, and tell us about the growth that you guys are seeing right now, and your background, basically.
Yeah, Motel 6 and Studio 6 is what makes up G6 Hospitality. We're basically three businesses. We're in the real estate business, we're in the branding business, and we're in the technology business. We have a little over 1,400 properties today. We own and operate 140 around the U.S. And we franchise the other 1,260 odd properties to some great, amazing partners. And we've got, the majority of the estate is here in the US. We've got 35 properties in Canada with some great partners up there. The business has performed extremely well over the past few years and throughout COVID. Our development pipeline, we have over 150 executed deals. And something that surprises a lot of people is, of those 150, 60 of them our new construction. We've opened 27 new construction properties in the last 3.5 years, and people don't generally equate Motel 6 or Studio 6 to new construction, but we're thrilled that a lot of our partners out there have confidence in the brand. They see the value and the value proposition, and they are building new products for us. So it's really exciting times.
Yeah, the reason why I know Motel 6 very well is because of your commercials. And, you guys have the best commercials. And guys, comment if you've ever seen a Motel 6 commercial. Here's a funny one. And you guys they're all pretty cheeky. Here's one that I pulled up, and there's hundreds of them that are out there. And your famous celebrity your spokesperson is Tom Bodett. And here it is.
Hi, Tom Bodett for 1-800-4-MOTEL-6, our toll-free reservation number. Now, to remember it, think of that one as an I, then I-8. And those look like 2 eggs. Now, say you ate those eggs for your cousin Mo, then tell 6 people. There you have it. I ate 2 eggs for Mo, Motel 6. Works for me. Well, I'm Tom Bodett for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Well, comment and let us know if you've ever seen a Motel 6 commercial, because that's what you remember when you think of Motel 6 and leaving that light on. What does that mean when you leave the light on?
First, Tom is amazing. He's an amazing partner. He's a great friend. He's an advocate, and he sticks with us through and through. So he's not just, some say, our spokesman, our celebrity spokesman. He's right there in the middle of the trenches with us. But, for us, leaving the light on really, was a great tagline. It's been with us for 30 plus years, and it's historic. It gives us the great recognition. But during COVID, it took on a new shape and form. Rather than becoming a tagline, it was really our rally cry. The rally cry that we use to inspire the entire, system to remain open. We knew during COVID that we knew our guests, our travelers needed our product. We knew our team members needed to continue to work. And we wanted to stand shoulder and shoulder with our local communities, showing everyone that you can operate responsibly, during a pandemic. And so we took every effort necessary to remain open, starting from the early days of the crisis, just really by partnering with our great franchisees out there, ensuring that they understood, that they knew that we would be with them, shoulder to shoulder, in the trenches with them, that we would lead by example with our own properties. And so I think today, if we think about leaving the light on, it's gone beyond what was just a tagline. Now it's really ingrained in who we are.
Right. And the economy segment has just been thriving this last year and a half, where, some of the higher tiered segment has been really hurting. And, why is that? Why do you think that the economy segment has been booming and it continues to boom as we are continuing to grow? Our guests are those road warriors that, travel on their own dime. Cost of lodging, cost of food comes out of their own pocket. So they're not on corporate expense reports. And so for them, low cost and affordable is key. They know what our product is. They know what we deliver. And we meet that expectation. So those individuals that kept us moving during the crisis, the factory workers, the truck drivers, the farmers, everyone that we depended on, they kept working. They knew we were always keeping a light on for them, so they returned. We're regularly thought of as the first choice for those travelers, and so we always took care of them in good times and in bad. So and during COVID, I think they remained loyal. And true. And so that helped us. I think it helped all
all of economy lodging and probably others in the chain scales. You saw that movement, and I think everybody out there did the best they possibly could, regardless of where you rank on the chain scale, from luxury all the way down. Did the best we could to make sure that we provided a clean, safe, environment for not only our team members but for our guests. So I think we learned a lot.
Yeah, I think we all did learn a lot, and congratulations on, we're talking about ranks. Congratulations on becoming, or you were, and you still are in the running. Your Motel 6 is the best budget-friendly hotel brand voted by consumers and by USA Today, and that was 2020. And I know you're in the running right now. The polls just closed a few days ago, where that might be a new announcement where you're in the top 10 again.
We're anxiously awaiting. We're hoping to hear. Although I suspect we've got some friends in Columbus, Ohio at Red Roof, and in Parsippany over at Wyndham that are trying to take that number one seat away from us. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, that is awesome. Where you are last year, 2020, the number one voted brand. What makes you number one when people are trying to select between those other brands like a Red Roof or a Super 8 or those other brands that you're competing with? Why are you different?
I'd say we're different from the fact that we've remained true to the original value proposition. We remain true to the model. Throughout almost 60 years now. We remain focused on clean, comfortable, and affordable. No frills, nothing fancy, not a lot of in-room amenities that add costs. No, breakfast, in our lobbies that add costs. A loyalty program that's not, desired by our customers nor our franchise partners, adding costs. So we remain true to that, and we just remained focused on the principles of clean, comfortable, affordable. And I think that combined with our distribution across the US and Canada, pretty dense, but still more room to grow. And those great commercials that you're hearing from Tom and, a lot of the other amazing marketing messages over the years, bring us today to what is a 94% brand awareness. So, I think that's amazing. And you combine all of that, then you get this great owner loyalty, is where we do have loyalty, is from our owners. And because they recognize that, that efficient model helps them drive higher returns, driving in more cash to their bank accounts, allowing them to grow. So, I think it's proven. You just got to remain focused. It's not easy to stay disciplined. It's difficult at times. Times it's a lot easier to copy others, and just follow the leader, so to speak. To say no is hard, and it's been a challenge, but I think it's proved valuable.
Right. A lot of owners came to me when I was going to bring you on saying, hey, ask them about breakfast and what are some other amenities that you guys are going to be adding? A lot of brands are like, all right, you got to bring breakfast back, or you got to bring this back, which is very challenging right now. Personally, I know for a few properties, we've put out ads for, breakfast hostess, and it's been tough to find the right person that is engaging, that cares, that's going to show up on time, all of those things. This is added cost to us as an owner. And the challenges of that whole breakfast is difficult. But what does breakfast look like for Motel 6?
Breakfast for Motel 6 looks like coffee in the lobby. We're also happy to provide directions to the closest Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, somewhere else, but no breakfast for us, no plans with breakfast in the future. I'm a big fan of breakfast. I'm a supporter of breakfast. I do not eat breakfast myself, but I encourage all of my all of the other brands out there in lodging to have big, robust breakfasts that are very expensive and very, very valuable. And I'm a big fan of that for them, not for me.
Right. So you, like you said, you're focused on what the brand offers and the message it offers to your guests too, because that has to align where the hotel might be doing something, but the marketing message is something else.
I mean, the reality is also, if surveying, our customers, which we do all the time. I mean, if you consider the truck drivers and factory workers and farmers, they're up and gone in many cases by 5:30 in the morning. So they're out the door. And so for us to have a breakfast in the lobby at 6 a.m. would only, only increase costs for our partners out there unnecessarily. Then it increases waste and spoilage and that's not good for anybody. It's costly. It's not good for the environment. It's not sustainable. So, again, coffee for us in the lobbies is where we are, and that's our focus. And and our other focus is helping our partners drive better service scores, come up with creative ways to solutions for renovation, saving them dollars, and most importantly is driving that top line. How do we drive more revenue and more more heads in beds, so to speak?
Yeah, for the folks that are watching, I know a lot of people are saying, keep it simple. Peggy's saying, I love the concept. No breakfast, which, listen, I appreciate breakfast too at a certain hotel based on what I'm doing, based on my budget, based on a lot of different things. And I think guests are the same way. If they're going on a vacation and they're doing whatever, they have a different thing. Or guess what? They don't need the breakfast at the hotel because they're going to spend that same amount of money maybe somewhere else, or maybe they might save. And I understand all those things. So I love that you guys are focused on what the brand offers, and that message across is kind of just one message, right? It's not several messages.
Right. And there's so much information out there. Travelers are more informed, more educated than they've ever been. And they're getting even more informed, and they have this at their, available at their fingertips. So they know when they choose. They know that we do not offer breakfast, but they know that a Red Roof does, or a Hampton Inn does, or a Days Inn. So they'll make those decisions based on their travel occasion. They're smart. They know what they need. They know what they want.
Now, Rob, we're talking to the CEO of G6 Hospitality, Mr. Rob Palleschi. Now, one other thing that makes your brand so successful is, and I just read this last week, is you guys are very pet friendly. And that's one thing that people drive. As last year, folks weren't flying. They were driving to the destination. They didn't want to leave their pet at someone's house or at a kennel, which was probably not open at that time, or somewhere else where they might have had some, pet sitting. They wanted to bring that family member, that pet, along with them. I have my buddy down here somewhere, Sammy, and we did the same thing this summer. We took them with us, right? And so being pet friendly is important right now because a lot of people love their pets and it's a part of their family. But that also is the success of why people stay at your brand. Tell us more about your pet program.
Yeah, no, we try to make it as simple and easy as possible. Just register your pet. Let us know in advance, register your pet. We've got some, restrictions on numbers, of pets. It's all reasonable. It's based, we're just trying to be reasonable and fair, but we just try to be as simple and easy as possible, path of least resistance. I travel with my pets as well. So, for me, it's just necessary. We're getting better and better with it all the time. And so I think when everybody, in the ownership community out there recognizes the value of it, when they appreciate that those guests are responsible, they do clean up after their pets, they take care of them. I think more and more properties will adopt the philosophy.
Yeah, there are not a lot of options for pet-friendly hotels, so I know that's a big draw for people staying at your hotel. Now, tell me about the the GM that's working at a Motel 6, and we'll talk about the other new brands that you have too. What keeps them going, and how do you, from the corporate office, keep them saying, you know what, here's what we're doing, here's how we can keep motivating you, because it's a challenge every single day as we try to keep our teams going too. What are some things that you kind of, your brand kind of helps to support the owners or even your own hotels?
Yeah, we do everything across the entire system. So we don't do anything separate for owned versus our franchise partners. But we launched last year, during COVID, our Light Keeper training, which is really focused on that team member engagement with guests, and being a little bit more proactive, problem solving, just providing them with the tools, the education necessary, role playing to help that guest experience, but also to help grow those team members individually as well. For our general managers out there, we try to keep the lines of communication open. We over communicate. Sometimes we over communicate a little bit too much, but we're always trying to be mindful of the trials and tribulations of running a property. We're disciplined about not sending out requests or memos on Fridays and Mondays when people are gearing up for the weekend or returning back to work. We're always focused on trying to provide some additional incentives out there to inspire. I'd say we just stay to our values. We're transparent. We try to lead by example, and I think owning hotels and being in hotels helps us do that.
Yeah, and I really respect, and I talked about this and I posted about it, is I respect that you guys not only operate a franchise model, but you also own 140 properties, so you know what your GMs are going through. You know what it's like right now for hiring, for a little bit of everything across the board, and I appreciate that. And we all try to keep our teams together. What are some leadership habits that you can tell, or habits that you live by every single day that keep yourself going? And then maybe you help other folks that are maybe wanting to step up higher in what they're doing, right? What are some leadership habits that you live by every single day?
I think, end of the day, we're not curing cancer. So don't take everything so seriously, right? We provide an experience, we provide, lodging, we provide a safe environment. So it requires hard work. You have to roll up your sleeve. You have to get into the trenches, all the time. So I think we try to demonstrate patience. We try to demonstrate a work ethic. We try to demonstrate our ability to see things through to conclusion. We're transparent, almost to a fault. We'll probably be the first ones to call ourselves out, with issues. And, again, it's that just really leading by example. When you say your door is always open, it has to always be open. You have to always be, invite that comment, invite that criticism, invite that suggestion. You can't just put a wall up or a barrier up. So I think really just trying to live that example is I think that's something that I focus on. I know my leadership team over here, they do an amazing job with it. I'm the knucklehead that gets everybody in trouble and comes up with dumb ideas. They're the ones who have to talk me off the ledge and say, yeah, that's really the dumbest idea you've ever come up with. I make more mistakes than anybody, but thanks to that team, they keep the train on the rails, and they keep everybody focused, and they're the real heroes in all of this. They're the ones who 3 times a day were on calls, navigating COVID, 24 hours a day on calls, talking with team members and our, helping our help desk navigate through health issues and just listening. So we've got a great organization. We got great leaders over here. So that makes my life easy. So I can just go and mess things up.
Well, I love this conversation. Wrote down a bunch of different mindsets and leadership habits that you shared with us. I think our number one thing that you really shared and really motivated and inspired us is stay focused on what you're doing. In life, a lot of times you see the new shiny object syndrome and you're like, I want to go do that. I want to go do this. And then guess what? When you get there, the grass is not always greener on the other side, right? And you're like, oh, right. And so I feel like focusing on that one thing that keeps you going, that keeps you inspired, and that keeps you motivated, passionate, all those things are an example of why your brand is so successful and why you've been so successful. So thank you so much, Mr. Rob Palleschi, for being on. Where can people find you? Where can people find the brand? And by the way, we forgot to mention the other brands that you have. It's not just Motel 6, but
we have, it's Studio 6 is our other brand. We have two brands, and Motel 6 and Studio 6. And our Studio 6 is our extended stay product. But everyone really recognizes that 1-6. That's the real brand. That's the real power over there. So we have the one brand with two product lines, a motel and an extended stay product line.
Awesome. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at the Logi Conference. And where can people find you guys?
You can. I would say, you need to tell Mo, or right? No, motel6.com, baby. Or you can always find me through social media or LinkedIn. A lot of great people out there are always trying to keep me on track with LinkedIn. I do a terrible job on my own, but they keep me on track. So, I think everybody knows where to find my big mouth. So
it's always a pleasure. And I can't wait to meet you again at the, like we said, at the Lodging Conference. Guys, if you loved this conversation, comment one thing that you learned. I wrote down focus 4 times on this paper, because a lot of times for me, I see the same thing. I'm like, oh, he's doing that. Let me go do that too. And I think that a lot of times you lose what you're really passionate about when you start seeing other people. So I love this conversation. Mr. Rob Palleschi, thank you so much. We will see you soon.
Thank you.
Guys, that was awesome. Thank you so much to Rob. You can find him on LinkedIn. You can find his brand at motel6.com. And of course, I can't wait to have him on again. And this was a fun interview, and I like that they own properties too, right? Which is very inspiring, because as we all keep going, we need folks to say, I understand how you feel. I know what you're going through. And I was ready to post this today, and you let me know if I should post this. All right, here it is. And I'm getting ready to post this, and I don't know if I should. So you let me know if I should. All right. It says real talk. A lot of people will be mad about this post but it's true. A lot of people will be mad about this post, but it's true. If you're posting advice on what hotel people should be doing, and you're actually not working in a hotel right now, you have no idea what people are feeling and what they're going through. Now, let me know if I should post this or not on my LinkedIn, because I think it is true. If you're not seeing what's actually happening, if you're not hiring those folks, and if you're not seeing that, hey, I interviewed 10 people and they're all coming in today, and guess what? They don't all show up. That is a fact. Or guess what? I ordered linen, or I did this one thing and it's not happening, because there's other things that are happening behind it. So, I wish the industry was like it was a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago. It's not. It's a different animal right now, especially with the staffing. And I'm going to post that, but you got to let me know. It's, I respect those folks that are talking about this, but it's a different story when you're actually at a hotel and seeing that GM crying. You see that leader just really frustrated. It's hard, and I see it every single day. So I'm going to continue sharing ideas, insights, mindset, inspiration to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. And Kimberly says, read it again. All right, it says, here it is. It says real talk. A lot of people will be mad about this post, but it's true. If you're posting advice on what hotel people should be doing right now, and you're actually not working in a hotel right now, you have no idea what hotel people are feeling and going through. And I think it's true. I mean, we could say that you should do this, but if you're actually behind the scenes and you're doing the actual work, it's a different animal. And so that is the ending of mine. I wanted to keep it positive, but that is what I'm going to be posting. You know, I think it's that we have to keep each other going. And guys, I'm so excited. Next week, which is September 1st, I have a full conversation with Mr. Chip Rogers, the CEO, president of the American Hotel Lodging Association. He's going to let us know what's happening in the industry, how we can get involved, and all of those things that keep us going that they're focused on for the rest of this year and 2022 and beyond. So excited to talk to Mr. Chip Rogers. That's next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Guys, if you love this episode, hit the like button, comment that you liked it. Comment one thing that you learned, and I learned that it was focus, right? Focus and keeping it going. Guys, thank you so much. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Talk to you next week. Bye. There it is. All right, there it is.